Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. This is Twist Gaming, where you get to play board games with us. Coming to you live here from PAX Unplugged 2018, bringing you all the board game coverage all weekend long. As usual, I'm Matt, and I'm joined here with Lee from PlayFusion. How you doing today, Lee?
I'm really good. I'm loving the room, by the way. Like the facts with the drop and everything. It's really nice and noisy in here. So
just a little purple too, right?
yeah, I like the purple though. I mean, it actually perfectly mirrors my mat that I'm using with. So it must have meant to have happened, surely, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm jealous of the hair, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You know, just for the conventions, though.
Oh, okay.
Our other member will be here tomorrow, and she does her whole head purple. Like she
That's amazing.
dyed purple, so I gotta
Love
give her
that.
kudos for that.
Yeah, I must admit, if I come in with purple hair tomorrow, I'm blaming you.
All right, so what are we showing off today here?
So we're showing off basically PlayFusion's latest game, so Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. So this is in collaboration with Games Workshop, so very familiar. They've been around for, God, it seems well, forever at least. I mean, I'm probably younger than the actual game is, but it shows how big the fan base is.
Absolutely.
And really, we took their license and we wanted to make it into a trading card game that would allow them to be involved in the universe, obviously get engaged with the Grand Alliances. So there's 4 different Grand Alliances. There's Chaos, Destruction, Death, and Order.
Okay.
Each has different champions, different laws that then relate to that as well. So in front of me now, I've actually got Death because I like to play Nagash. I'm quite a discards kind of style guy. I like to kind of use risen cards and kind of bring them back from the grave. So that's my style. But we found out your style is very kind of control-y. You like to kind of own the board, if you will. So you're obviously rocking out with Order.
Okay. I'm excited about that. So what kind of play style are we looking at here with this game?
So we're kind of looking at a strategic play style which kind of utilizes the rotation of the cards. So one of the great things about the game is it adds a flow of strategic element that you would see from the Warhammer tabletop game, but incorporated into a battlefield which kind of allows ease of play, decision-making, kind of right or wrong choices. So it really starts off with, as it says in the name of the game, champions. So you always will have 4 different style of champions. Now, I'm going to be a bit cheeky here. Do you want to show off one of your champions on the screen for our players?
Go with it. I got the Liberator Prime.
Nice. So what you'll see on the screen for those tuning in is Liberator Prime has 4 distinct corners. So we call these clunky corners in the game. Now, these clunky corners have different attributes. So if we take it from the left, we've got this kind of attacking style symbol. So when a player deals damage, your Liberator Prime will then rotate. It will then move into what would then be the unit, which is the orange kind of, or red style. It's the one yeah, so that's a unit as well, which actually is a Stormcast unit.
Okay.
And then in the other corner, which is the white symbol there, you would have an ability. So these need to be used in a certain order. Now, once you've done a full rotation, so for example, if we take one of your cards here, I'm not cheating, I'm just, you know, looking through, observing the cards in the deck as you go through. So if we had, perfect, one of my favorite cards. So we've got an Alpha Griffith Charger. Okay. So, as you can see in the left-hand corner, once again, there is a 1. That 1 applied to the context of the box, down below underneath the unit, states 1 rotation damage to your opponent. Increase this by 1 if the highlighted champion costs 7 or more. That means then your champion rotates. But you're probably saying to me, Matt, why do I want to rotate a champion? What's in it for me? What's the benefit?
Exactly.
So the benefit is that with your 4 champions, you have 4 powerful, unique abilities. These are known as blessings. So you've got a nice stack of blessings over here. I don't want to show off mine because
our yellow cards here. So anyone in particular you want me to show off?
Do you know what? I mean, one of my personal favourites is, I believe it's actually the one closest to my left, which is the Stormforge.
You got it.
So Stormforge is passive, so it stays on the field. So this is absolutely incredible. And when a highlighted Stormcast, so this is one of the units in the game, very well known in the Warhammer lore, leaves play, you get to draw 1 card. And where you see the text box underneath, so the kind of black highlighted there and the white highlighted.
Yeah, so this is supposed to be green.
It
I'd
is
like
supposed to
point
be
that
green,
out there,
yeah. So obviously green screens, everything. You can't get away with too much. Means that it would be on your side of the field, so you're constantly drawing for every Stormcast as it leaves battle.
Okay.
So by the sounds of things, you're going to be drawing a lot of cards. And hopefully not dealing too much damage to me.
Hopefully I am.
Well,
no,
I'll be the judge of this. So there you go. So that's the mechanics of champions, and it's the mechanics of the blessings. But let's be fair. We're not here to talk. We're here to battle.
Oh, boy.
And I think battling is where it's now going to begin.
Oh, you're gonna take me to the woodshed now. Okay, so
Yeah.
how am I setting up in front of me then?
So the setup's really simple. So what we've got here, again, for those viewing on the screen, these are the blessings. Now, the blessings are always placed face down. So whilst Stormforge sounds an incredible card, we can't exactly get you knowing where it is on the battlefield. So what we would do is flip over all the blessings, and we would give them a good shuffle. It also means then I'm not cheating.
Make sure you're not counting the cards over there.
No.
I don't know if I can
There you
trust
go.
you.
Do you want to have a look?
You're good.
Yeah, okay. Oh, we're good. So we're going to place them down, like so. Now, what we do, so in the digital version of the game, we would have the blessings at the bottom, but because we're playing the physical version, we actually place our blessings in the champion slots.
Okay.
And the blessing slot underneath, as you can see with my fingers here, is when we reveal the blessings. So the players can see what damage is being done, what you've got in play, and so forth like that. So that's part one.
Okay.
Part two, the champions. So you put these in your hands. You have a good look. You see we've got some
4 red border champions that we have here.
Yeah, so the red borders basically means you've got warrior champions.
Okay.
So these are actually no, tell a lie. See, you got a wizard there. See, you're trying to put a unit in there. See, I didn't see you as a. I thought you was trying to deal with some damage there. That was a bit cheeky. I see how this works.
I was just testing you just to make sure.
And you passed.
Okay.
Or technically, I passed. Can't work it out.
passed, yeah.
There we go. So the red borders on the champions means they're warrior champions.
Okay.
So they can only play warrior cards and abilities. Your wizards, indicated by the blue border, so there again we have a Lord Reflector, can only play spells. They can also play abilities, but you can't play abilities over spells.
Okay.
So be mindful of that as we're going into battle.
Okay.
So, to give you an understanding, I'm going to go first. I think that's fair
Be my
because
guest.
we need to make sure that you get to see and witness my mistakes in battle, so you can capitalise.
You're gonna teach me the wrong way just to give yourself an advantage, right?
100%. So, what we would do is player one will always place down one champion on a blessing. So, the example here, I'm going to play a Hungering Vampire Lord. So he's actually a warrior wizard, which means I can play both styles of cards.
Okay.
Now, Matt, you now actually need to play 2 champions on top of your blessings.
Okay, so I just place them on top of any of the. Does it matter which position I put them in?
So, that's a very fair point. Now, some of your champions will have, we call these the highlighted cards. So they have those same icons that you saw with the blessings, so the kind of border or tetranome blocks. So the area of effect, so as the Law Reflector states here, when this champion or a card controlled by this champion grants you 4 or more health, you may rotate a highlighted unit 1 step backwards. Now, if you were to put that champion, and I'll use the example here on my board, in a position like so, you're only going to get, really, the coverage on this side here, because you're actually losing coverage on this side of the board. So you want to place them in the best middle position. That also means that I'm not going to, be affected by my card placement.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to place him down right there in a semi-middle position.
Nice. You have one more champion to place down.
True, I do. So
choices.
Yeah. Sure, I'm going to place him over on this side over here.
Great card.
Hammerhand here. So when a unit controlled by this champion is removed by your opponent, deal 3 damage to them.
hopefully I don't start removing cards. I might have to, but there you go. So I'm now going to place 2 more champions. So I've got a skeleton champion, and I will put in the field a bloody vampire queen. And now you place your final 2 remaining champions.
Okay, so I'm going to put the Knight Heralder over here, and I'm going to put the Liberator Prime over here.
Amazing. And now I then finish up with a skeleton champion. So that's set up on the board. So we always start now at 30 health. But you may have noticed, Matt, that on your champion, you've got a red circle and a green circle.
Yep, sure do.
So the red circles indicate any additional or subtracted health from your starting health.
Oh.
So the starting health will be at 30, as you've got your nice little order token there. And I've got my death token nicely here. So are you good with math?
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Do you want me to do some math for you, or are we going to
Let me
do
try
some
my
live
hand up
math?
this one
Okay.
here. So this is a +1,
It
minus
is.
1, so that's 0.
Yep, we're good.
Another 0, so that's 0.
Yeah, we got 0.
And then we got a 2. So I
So-
get 2 additional health then.
Absolutely.
Okay, perfect.
So you are now on 32 health. Good job.
Easy enough.
Also, congrats on the maths.
I
very
tried,
proud.
you know.
So for me, I've got -1. It's not a good start. I've got a 1. Getting better.
That's a 0 then.
It's a 0.
Same start for us so far.
-1. So we're 29. Back to 30. So I'm not actually changing.
Net 0.
Net 0.
Easy enough.
So, game's completely set up. What you now do is we're going to take your deck. You're on a very important deck.
All right. Did you take my deck from me? I think you
Maybe
did.
I was cheating. Maybe I wasn't.
Put the good cards on top. That's, you know.
So okay, we'll get Alpha Griffin. It's on top. There you go. So player 1, so being myself, will draw 4 cards.
Okay.
Player 2, that's yourself, Matt, will draw 5 cards.
5 cards.
Indeed.
Okay.
Do we do a gentleman's handshake here on Twist Gaming?
I mean, we can try. Good luck.
Good luck.
Oh man.
Let the onslaught begin.
Sounds good.
So, these are your action cards. So you can play 2 actions, but you may not draw any cards. If you play 1 action, you can then draw 1.
Okay.
If you think, do you know what, I really want just to draw 2 cards, play no actions, that's what you can do.
Easy enough.
So, let's begin with some damage. So, here, for those that are viewing, we've got a Murderous Vargeist. So we always look at the top left. So as indicated here, it's the 2. So unfortunately, you will be taking 2 damage.
Right now.
Right now.
Oh boy. Okay. So down to 30.
Down to 30. So we'll take back the Murderous Vargeist, and it will be positioned. I'm going to position it on my Hungering Vampire Lord. So because we've got the left corner here, which for our community, it is a unit vampire.
Okay.
My Vargeist is a unit vampire, which means my champion rotates. I'm now 1/4 of the way to a powerful blessing.
That doesn't seem like it's good for me.
It does for me.
Okay.
So for my second action, I unfortunately can't play the same card twice. You'll be pleased to know, because otherwise that's another 2 damage coming your way. However, I was a little bit jealous of you getting health at the start.
Uh-oh.
So, I'm going to play a Feasting Vargeist. Another vampire.
That's a lot of Vargeist right there.
It is. So, corners 1 and 2 gain health. So, in this case, I will gain 1 health. So, I'm now on 31. It is now the end of my turn.
Oh boy.
Let's see what you got, man.
Oh, I don't know here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play. So there's, when I see that it says ability, that's not something I'm playing out right now. I've got a unit, so I'm trying to play units. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, you can play abilities on your champions.
Okay.
Sometimes what we see our players do is they may hold on to abilities depending on their champion's requirements, or if they see an opportunity to strike or deal damage, it could actually win you the game.
Interesting. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play this the Alpha Griffin, like you were showing me before.
Nice.
I feel like I should put it over here in front of the Vandus Hammerhand, because that's got that where if you try to remove him, it's going to deal you 3 damage.
Yeah.
So he's got a 1 in the top right, in the top left. So that means that deals 1 damage to you.
It does, unfortunately,
Okay.
deal 1 damage to me. Now, if you played that champion in front of a champion on my side that cost 7 or more, you would have hit me for 1 more. Now, the problem is...
You don't have anyone for 7 or more.
I do have 1 for 7 or more, but you've got a wizard, which means you couldn't play that unit. So champion position in there was vital.
Okay.
I feel quite safe. It's good.
And I'm gonna go ahead and draw a card then. With
Okay. So this is now where you start to see some rotation happen. So this is the core mechanic of Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. So what would happen, and again we'll use the Murderous Vargeist. It's getting a bit of coverage. So we took that left-hand corner, didn't we, with the 2?
Yep.
What I want you to do, Matt, is could you rotate it with the arrows indicated on the corner? So if you rotate it, perfect. So what would now happen on my side of the board, and I'm going to do it on the other card, is you're going to take another 2 damage.
That's not doing too well for me.
It isn't.
1, 2.
And I will now gain 1 health. So I'm actually back to 31.
Oh boy.
So the reason this comes into it, it means once the card is exhausted, it actually will leave the play. So that's when you can then start to play more of your armies, you can start to deal more damage, or defend depending on what cards you have in your hand.
Okay, so every turn that the card is out, it rotates 90 degrees, and it's doing its action there. And since this has 3 corners after 3 turns, essentially, it would then become exhausted, is what you're saying?
Yeah, so once it goes round to that kind of that final corner, it means that it will then be exhausted. So as you rightfully said, Matt, you would deal 2, 2, then 1. On the corner that doesn't have anything, it goes bye-bye. Also good for Matt.
I mean, that's worrisome for me. That you still got another couple turns of damage there.
And I have 2 actions I can play right now.
Yeah.
Let's find out what's going to happen. So, I don't want to say I had a good draw, but I think I had a good draw.
Oh boy.
It's another Murdering
Oh my
Vargeist.
goodness. So that's another 2.
It's another 2. So you're down to 26.
Yeah.
But I'm going to follow suit, so I will draw a card.
Okay. So I got a question for you on mine here.
Yeah.
I've got a spell. I've got Warding Light. Now this
Yeah.
has an X in the top left.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So the X basically means nothing happens.
Okay.
So it's almost void, if you will. If you had a 0, so there's cards in destruction, okay, that allow stacking to come into effect. So stacking basically means that you could put a card on top of another card, and it would then deal support damage or a certain reduced damage. It depends on the card's context, okay? So that 0 would then become a 1. The X will always stay as an X.
Okay.
However, it is worth mentioning there, that is a very good card, because not only will you deal damage to me when the 3rd rotation comes in with that 4, but you actually gain yourself 4 health, and your champion would actually rotate
Perfect.
once the health comes into effect.
Okay. So I'm going to go ahead, and this would get played in one of the action slots as well then.
Yeah, but it
Okay.
can only be played by a wizard. So remember you said about the blue border?
Yep.
Great. So that's 1 action you've done there. And
Okay.
also, don't forget, your Alpha Griffin Charger rotates at the start of your turn.
So that would be 1 damage to you as well then.
Yep.
Okay. And
putting
then... Oh, man. So I've got Piercing Shot here. I got an ability. So just walk me through how I would play that.
So the ability can be played either in an empty action slot, or it can be played on a warrior unit. So it could be played on your your Alpha Griffith Charger, if you so wished, which actually could be a good idea because you could rotate your champion 1 step forward, or you could play it on your Liberator Prime. It's like a tongue twister here.
Yeah, right.
And again, you could rotate that there. But if you read the context of the card, you can see we've got a text box there highlighted called Rend.
Rend.
Rend means it's unblockable.
Oh.
I cannot block any of that damage.
Gotcha.
So my advice is, if you want to start throwing down some hard hits, I think it's a good card to do.
Play that underneath the Alpha Charger?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Let's play it under your Liberator Prime.
Under the Liberator Prime.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to take 3 damage now. 1, 2, 3. So what will then happen with? So what will happen is your blessing stays in. Yeah.
That was the blessing. Okay.
Yes. See, now you're being cheeky. I see how this works. So once you've used an ability, such as this, you actually it's exhausted straight away. So you actually put it to your discard pile.
Oh. Okay.
Because I don't really want to be hit 3 more times with Rend.
I mean, it'd be nice.
It would be. It would be, but I'm not liking it.
So does he rotate?
He does, and the reason he rotates, for anyone that's just tuning in now, is that your left icon was deal damage. Because you dealt damage to me, your champion rotated.
Gotcha.
In the same way, where your Alpha Griff Charger was, that champion would rotate as well because you dealt damage.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
2 champions of yours are a quarter of the way there.
Sounds good. Now, if we had more time then, I feel like I would have been in a better position. But unfortunately, I think we're out of time for today. Is there anything that you wanted to talk to me about with Warhammer here that we didn't get a chance to show off? I know that there's probably a lot.
There is a lot. Yeah. So, we've only just recently started with Warhammer Age of Sigmar Champions. So we're now on to our second set, which is incredible, called Onslaught, where there's brand new champions, there's brand new blessings. But one of the coolest features about this card game is, the cards you actually just put on the screen for our community?
Absolutely.
Now, if they've got the digital version of the app, you can actually scan the physical cards into the game, which then means you've got your physical cards in your digital game where you can play your games against online ranked. You can ultimately deck test, because a lot of our tournament players who are downstairs right now have been using the physical cards, playing away and going, do you know what? I can't take 1,000 of my cards with me to PAX.
Yeah.
Well, they could, but
it's hard.
It may be held up at security. So it means they've always got their cards on the go. So it's a great way that physical blends into digital and how digital blends into physical. And you've actually gave away a couple of the cards. It's a good job.
Fantastic.
So anyone that's got the app that's tuning in now can scan those cards. They can then start dealing some damage more in their game as well. And other than that, it's thank you to yourselves for allowing us to come on. Thank you for the support from our community. And I just wish I got to beat you more at the game.
I mean, you're already doing a pretty good job of beating me up here. So
actually, what was the health total?
I'm at 26.
It was close, 27.
Oh,
it was one off.
You had some big damage coming up next turn, so don't play coy with me on that.
Okay, fair enough.
But thank you so much for joining us here today.
Thank you
really
so much.
Appreciate it, and thank all of you for watching at home. Stay tuned. We're going to take a brief intermission here, but we'll be coming back with more live coverage here all weekend long at PAX Unplugged 2018. As usual, though, I'm Matt. See you later.